I hope everyone is doing well. So, for today's demo, I want to show how you can create a conversational AI agent using Azure Logic Apps. So, in order to do this, we would need access to Azure subscription. So, make sure you have a valid Azure subscription and then make sure you are logged into portal.azure.com. So, once you log in, the first thing we would need is to create a resource group. So resource group is like a container where we would uh, uh, publish all our services or all the services that are needed for our agent would be within a resource group. So resource group is like a solution container that holds all the services that we need. So first you can click on resource group directly from here if it's showing up. If it's not showing up, search for resource group here and click from here. Then you can click on create, select your subscriptions, give it a name, and then choose region that's closest to you and just click on review and create. So this should create your resource group. In my case, I already have it, so I'm not going to create another one. But once it's created, for you, this would be empty because you won't have any services deployed yet. But once you have this created, the next thing we need to do is click on create. So we'll click on create, and the first thing or the first service we'll deploy is going to be the AI model that will be used by our agent. So let's look for Azure OpenAI. And then once you see this one, you'll click on create. Click on create here. Make sure you select your Azure subscription, select the resource group we created, use the same region as the resource group, give it a name, pricing tier, and then just clicking on next till you hit review and submit. And then once you click submit, it should create the Azure OpenAI service. So you can see here, I already have it right here. So once you deploy the Azure OpenAI service, you should see something like this. Once that's done, click on Explore Azure AI Foundry portal. And this is where we'll deploy our AI model. So what you can do is click on deployments and you'll click on deploy model, click on deploy base model and select the model you want to use for your agent. So let's say if you want to use GPT-4, just click on GPT and you can see all these options. Make sure you choose the one that you would like to use. So in my case, if I want to use GPT 4.1, I'll select that. I'll click on confirm. And then make sure when you're deploying, the resource location or the region is same as your resource group. So if your resource group is in East US, make sure you are deploying this in East US so that your services can be reached by your agent. So that's step number two. With this, we'll have the AI model that we would use for our agents. So once this is deployed, come back to our resource group. So this is our resource group. So you would see the Azure OpenAI and Azure AI Foundry services deployed. The next thing we need to do is now create logic apps. So click on create, look for logic app, click on create here, click on, make sure you select the right subscription, click on create again. And then you want to choose the standard version. So workflow service plan, click on select, make sure you select the right subscription, resource group, give it a name. So you can call it something like agent demo. Choose the same region that we are using for our resource group. So if you're using East US, then make sure you select East US. Choose the Windows plan, pricing plan, and then Make sure you turn off the monitoring. It by default, it will turn this monitoring on. But if you don't need application insights, since we are only doing a demo, you can turn this off so that you don't spend your credits on app insights. So once you do that, make sure go to review and create, and then finally click on next. Let's see, it's complaining about the name. You can click on review and create. Oh, it's not available, so let's give it a unique name. So right here, you can see as long as you have a unique name, you should be able to get to review and create, and then click on create. So once you do that, you will be able to create the logic app, and it's going to look something like this. So once you have this, you will click on create a workflow designer, and you'll start adding your first workflow. So once you do that, you click on add. In our case, we are creating conversational agent. So I'll select this, give it a name. So in my case, I've already created one. I called it cards game agent. So you can use the same name and then click on create. So once you do that, you'll see something like this open up. So the first node is a new chat session. So this is where a new chat session starts. So make sure you give it a name and a description. So in my case, I'm creating an agent that can shuffle a deck of card, and then it draws a cards. So between one player and agent, whoever draws the largest card wins the game. So that's the game we are going to play. So that's what I'm designing this agent for. So in my case, I'm calling it a dealer agent. I gave it a description. For the agent node, make sure you are using the model that we just deployed. Give it all the instructions. So in my case, I'm giving this instruction so you can see exactly what the agent will do. So I'm saying you are a card dealer agent. You welcome the player by asking, would you like to play a game of cards? If they say yes, then ask them if they would like to shuffle a new deck or draw a card. If you shuffle a new deck, then ask user to draw a card. Whoever has higher card wins the game. So here I'm making it very clear in terms of instructions on how the game needs to be played. And then for this agent, I have given two tools. The first tool is allows it to shuffle the cards, and then the second tool allows it to draw a card. So for the shuffle card tool, I'm using a HTTP action. I'm calling this URL. And then what this does is it gives a unique deck ID. So every time the cards are shuffled, it gets a unique ID. And then that unique ID is then used to draw a card. So in this case, again, you can see I'm passing that deck ID to this tool. I'm making a HTTP call using that deck ID, and this allows the agent to draw or pick one card. So you can see count is one, so it will always pick one card. So once you have set this up, so this is basically how you set up the this is called agent loop. So this is a preview feature right now, but allows you to create agents pretty quickly. So you see this is the agent. These are all the tools it has access to. So if you want to add another tool, I would just click on this, and then you can select the tools that you need for your agent. So once you have done that, you can start chatting with your agent by simply clicking on this chat. And you can test it here. So in my case, I've already deployed this, but for you, for the first time, you should see a chat window here, which would allow you to basically chat. You do need to configure easy auth just so that if you want to deploy this agent, you have some authentication. So Microsoft has made this really easy. You just set up the easy auth, and once you do that, it will create a new app registration, and it will provide you this chat client URL. So here you can see, if I click on this URL, this is the chat window I see, and I can start chatting to the agent right from here. I say hi. I can say shuffle. I would say draw, and you can see it's able to now tell me that I drew two of diamonds and the agent drew king of clubs. So king beats two, so I win this round. Draw again. And again, it looks like agent won again. So you can see now I can start interacting with my agent. And what you can do is then simply take this URL and embed it in your website or any channel that where you would like to deploy. So you can embed this using iframe component, and then it should be all ready to use. I hope this was helpful on how to create agent using Logic Apps. If you have any questions, do let me know, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thanks for watching.